Hey everybody, Pixel here, welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Soul Silver. In the last episode, we took care of Jasmine's gym in Olivine City and healed Ampharos in the lighthouse. In this episode, we are going to be heading out to the next city, but first, there are some encounters that I skipped over that you can get now that you have the Good Rod, specifically in Ecruteak City and Violet City. They are the same encounters in both cities. First, you can get Poliwag. Poliwag is interesting. I actually do like it a lot, and I know that the people who made Pokemon do too. In fact, it's Pokemon's creator Satoshi Tajiri's favorite Pokemon, at least when it evolves into Poliwhirl. It's a mixed attacker, obviously, as you can see. And it gets a lot of cool moves, as you saw with Chuck's Poliwrath a few episodes back. It can get Hypnosis, and then once it's a Poliwhirl, it can learn Focus Punch, which is an excellent combo. It makes it very hard to actually get any hits on it, and it will be dealing out a lot of damage very quickly. That said, its defenses aren't that great, and Poliwrath has that weakness, that added weakness to Flying and Psychic. So, I'd recommend Politoed. Mind you, this is also before Politoed gets the ability that really sets it apart from all the other Pokemon that could do its job normally. That's all I really have to say about Poliwag. It's okay. If you need a water type, then you could definitely do worse than Poliwag. The only downside really is that Poliwhirl evolves through a Water Stone, and you may struggle to find one of those. Next up, we have Goldeen. Actually, lastly, we have Goldeen. Goldeen is just bad. I mean, it's debatable how bad it actually is, of course. And you can have your own opinion on it, and it's a lot better, actually, lately, because in recent generations, it got a hidden ability in the form of Lightning Rod. But this is before hidden abilities existed. As you can see, it has a very low special attack stat, and special attack is what most water-type moves fall under, so it's just not that great. It gets so many special attacks and not enough physical attacks, and then when it does get a physical attack, it's Peck, which is 35 base power. You could do worse. As you could with anything, you could go with Magikarp instead and then not evolve it, but I don't know, it's just not that great. I went ahead and caught a Poliwag just so I could do something during that bio. I'm not going to nickname it because it's not going to be a member of the team or anything. So, I'm going to go put that in the PC, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Actually, while I was doing that, I realized we are going to need a Pokemon with Cut, so you should take Oddish. You're also going to need a Pokemon with Surf. Or you're at least going to want a Pokemon with Surf. Let's head out here. On to Route 42. I'm just gonna let you listen to this music, because this route has some excellent music. So yeah, that's just some really good route music. Wish they'd use some... Actually, I was gonna say I wish they'd use something similar, but they use this in Fire Red and Leaf Green in areas that I never did in my Let's Play. Anyway. Actually, let's not surf yet. Let's head in this cave. Mount Mortar. There's a Sea King right there. It's angry with me. So Mount Mortar changed a lot throughout all its different incarnations. Of course, there's the one in Gold, Silver, and Crystal. There's the one in, well, no, there's one in Gold, Silver, there's one in Crystal, and there's one in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And they're all different in their own ways. Mount Mortar is a strange place, and I've never actually gone all the way through it. And right now, actually, we can't even go all the way through it. There are areas we can't access yet. So, last episode when I said we might explore Mount Mortar, and in the schedule that I put on my Twitter, not completely right, because Mount Mortar is not going to be the bulk of this video as far as I know. If I get lost in here, then I'll just speed up the video, of course. So yeah, there's you can get items here. Obviously, here's an ether right here. And if you have a way of finding hidden items, I'm sure there are plenty of them here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's all there is to do here, so... Right now, that's all we can do, as far as I know, unless there's something to this side that I don't know about. Oh, would you look at that, there is. And we need strength. Actually, I just happen to know that we have a Pokemon that can learn strength. So we just gave a silk scarf to Atlas, but I actually want to give strength to Rocky because it's only 5 power less than, or actually no, it's the exact same as Slam, except it's more accurate. So let's teach that. I was thinking about teaching it to Atlas, but I like having Horn Attack, even if it is less power. I don't know, I just like the idea of a Heracross using Horn Attack. So let's use Strength. Again, I've never gone through this dungeon, so I'm very likely to get lost. I'm pretty sure I have an escape rope. If not, I don't. Okay, well. Don't even have the TM for dig. Okay, might be here a while. So I'll speed this up. Okay, so as far as I can tell, that's all we can really do here right now. We will be coming back later, because there is more to do in this cave that we can't do yet, because we don't have the moves we need. What does this guy want? Not losing this time. Have we fought before, bud? Are you the guy who was in the... Okay, your name's Harrison. I don't recall ever having met you, Mr. Moonstone. Alright, I wasn't anticipating fighting a Nidoking in here. Something tells me it's going to be a physical attacker, though. Because it's an NPC. Focus... Oh boy, that means Reflect is going to mean nothing. Well, the only reason I put up a Reflect is because I don't know if Magical Leaf is going to be enough to one-shot it. Yeah, see? Double Kick. If that gets a crit, and it's a multi-hit move, so it very well might, it'll do 4 whole damage. Except it won't, because it was only doing 2 damage because of Reflect. I don't know. Nidoking is dangerous if it gets up focus energy, especially. If he'd used an X attack, then his critical hit ratio would be like 50-50. Somewhere around there, at least. Nidoqueen. Yeah, well, Salad had a pretty easy time with Nidoking. I know this is more defensive, but it's also the same level as that Nidoking, and it doesn't have any EVs, so not anticipating too much of a fight. Alright. Yeah, that... Tail Whip, huh? Okay, well... It's dead now. I dropped my bottle. That's okay. I don't need water. 706. Salad is level 29. I lost to some kid? You sure did, bud. Buster. Budster. Okay. Yeah, if you started with Totodile, you'd already have a Feraligatr at this point, so... And that's cool. Or you likely would. Something tells me, like in one level, if this was a Crocodile, this would be a Feraligatr. So, that's pretty cool. This guy over here, he has an interesting Pokemon, but we'll talk about that right now because I didn't realize he was a fisherman that actually had a line of sight. Most fishermen you have to talk to in order to actually battle, but he has a Quillfish. Quillfish is an interesting Pokemon, but we can't catch it yet, so I won't be going over it. But you should be careful. I don't know if this one has Explosion or not, but it can learn Explosion. Man, that wasn't enough. Minimize won't work. I'm pretty sure Magical Leaf never misses, so... Actually, let's check. Is Magical Leaf the move I'm thinking of? Yeah, never misses. The attack will not miss. So get fucked, Quillfish. As decent as you are. 406? That's a lot of experiences. What? That's not right. I think it is right. This guy will actually give you Water Stones if you register him in your Pokegear, because he can find them by the shore. I don't need any Water Stone. I don't think I have any Stone evolutions on my plan team, so... Are you kidding me? Is this gonna be Entei? Nope, Raikou? On the water? Okay. Hi, Jesus. I wasn't anticipating Jesus appearing before me. Well, Magical Leaf probably won't knock it out. Let's go for a Magical Leaf. Again, not trying to catch this thing right now. I just want to get as much damage on it as I can when it appears, because it flees immediately. So as you can see, Suicune is down there. Let's take the Super Potion. Looks like this is a entrance to Mount Mortar, so I guess we'll go in there in a sec. Oddish will cut it down. Suicune, how brave it is. How refreshing it is. How beautiful it is. And how quickly it moves. Ashley, you seem to be around where Suicune would appear. Well, that's okay. My desire to search for Suicune is far beyond yours. My grandpa was quite into myths. I've heard so many stories about Suicune from him. Suicune, I won't stop following you until after I've found out what you're after. You hear me? That guy gives me the creeps. It's especially weird that you only battle him once in the entire game, and we already did that, but... Anyway, Suicune was guarding these apricorns. You can only get these if you have Cut, so... This might even... I think this is our first instance of a pink apricorn, and if not, it is our first instance of an orange one, so... Take a Gurn. I really don't understand why they use the three-letter pronunciations for these colors, because it's a DS game. You have room for more. It's the same as like how they called a paralyze heal a paralyze heal in Gen 3. I don't know if they did in this gen. They very well might have, but whatever. Let's head into Mount Mortar again. And I'll speed up. Alright, I think that's actually all we can explore Mount Mortar right now. Like, that's actually it. So, let's head back over here and get back on track going to the next city. Can't get that right now. That item's just gonna sit there and taunt us. There are some ground encounters here now that I want to go over. Actually, there's one in Mount Mortar that I didn't go over, so let's go over that right now. Meryl can appear in Mount Mortar. Meryl is a decent water type. It's more defensive than it is offensive, but it gets huge power for an ability, so physical attacks will be doubled in power. This is an excellent ability. If you get this thing, say, Aqua Jet, for example, and Belly Drum, then it can use Belly Drum to max out its attack, have a berry or something like a citrus berry, so it can heal up once it gets lower in its health, and then Aqua Jet everything, and it will die. Because that huge power is increasing its attack stat so high that even a 40 power move like Aqua Jet will be doing a shitload of damage if a Belly Drum gets off. Azumarill and Meryl, even, are awesome just because of this strategy. I'm not sure if they can get Belly Drum in this generation, but even if they can't, huge power still makes them a very usable threat. They get moves like Super Power, Ice Punch, Aqua Jet, Aqua Tail. So yeah, Meryl's real good. Alright, now there are some encounters on Route 42 or 43 or wherever this is that I want to go over. Only on this route you can find Mankey. Mankey is a pure fighting type, and it has much higher speed than other fighting types that you may find. It's actually, like, I think it's really good. It gets Anger Point for an ability, so if it gets hit by a critical hit and survives, then its attack will be maxed out. That's awesome. It also has speed higher than most things. 95 is nothing to sneeze at. And it gets a lot of really good moves. It gets Earthquake, it gets Brick Break, it gets Close Combat eventually. I mean, it's just really good. I used one in my Fire Red Let's Play, so I'd like to think I know a thing or two about Primeape. If you use Headbutt starting in this area, you can find a Venonat. Venonat is bad. It evolves into Venomoth, and Venomoth gets a lot of interesting special attacks. It gets Giga Drain, it gets Psychic, it gets Sludge Bomb, it gets Bug Buzz. But, I mean, it just doesn't have the stats to support using it long term. It's okay if you want to. I mean, it's not like it's completely unusable, it's just not something I'd recommend personally. Okay, now that those are done, get out of here, Nidorino. Okay, 643. Level 29 on Onyx, huh? Okay. I should have used my Moonstone. You should have. You should have been like the guy in the cave who annoyed me. Okay. Yeah, let's keep Salad in the front because we're about to fight a hiker. What's the other side of Mount Mortar like, do you know? If you can beat me, I'll let you know. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna find out what the other side of Mount Mortar's like then. I'm gonna have a Diglett. Where did you get that? You can't catch that in Johto. And you definitely didn't come from Kanto. Couldn't get all the way to Johto from Kanto using a level 15 Diglett. Jesus. What is this guy? Who does he think he is? Geodude? Okay, that makes a little more sense. You can actually find that in Johto. It's Magical Leaf. Goodbye, Geodude. I've thought about like speeding up generic trainer battles like this, especially when there's like large stretches of trainer battles, but I don't know. I'll think about it, I guess. Here's Dugtrio. It's under-leveled too. Diglett doesn't evolve into Dugtrio until like level 28, I think. Whatever. I guess you can catch Dugtrio in Diglett's cave. Gwahaha! I lost! I don't... Whatever. Found Mahogany Town. Has the same music as Cherry Grove. Are you off to see the Gyarados rampage at the lake? No. I'm not. Hiya, kid. I see you're new in Mahogany Town. Since you're new, you should try a yummy Rage Candy Bar. Right now, it can be yours for just 300 Poké-Dollars. Want one? I actually do. I remember a person from as far as Kanto came to buy one a long time ago. I happened to have none in stock then. That person left rather upset. Felt kind of sorry for that. So he gave us a Rage Candy Bar and put it in the key items pocket. A famous candy in Mahogany Town. Many tourists like to buy them to take home. You're gonna want this. Just trust me on that. It'll make things easier later on. So, I'm gonna go into the Pokemon Center and, let's heal up. Because Bayleaf took quite a beating. Didn't really. Bayleaf didn't struggle at all. I was actually very happy with that. It was a good run through that route. Doesn't usually take that long, but I also usually don't go into Mount Mortar. Pokemon do become stronger when they evolve, but they also learn moves more slowly. That's true. I stop my Pokemon from evolving too early. I make them learn certain moves before okay, how many people do you need to tell me the same thing? What's this? Team Rocket has come back? I saw some men in black at the Lake of Rage. Well, they're gonna neuralize you now, bud. Okay. Now that we are done with everything I wanted to do in this episode, there is something I wanted to remedy from last time. I went over Shadow Claw and I said if you have any Pokemon that should learn it, you should teach it. I do have a Pokemon that can learn it. Atlas could learn it and I just didn't notice somehow, so I'm going to teach Atlas Shadow Claw. This is good for coverage against the Psychic type, which Atlas is weak against. And I quite like the move anyways, just the 70 power with a high crit ratio, that's pretty good. So I'm getting rid of Counter because even though I only learned it like 2 episodes ago, I never used it. So that's the first TM I'm using outside of Flash, and outside of HMs obviously, because I've used every one of these. Actually I didn't even use Flash, so never mind, that's the first TM I've used. Okay, anyway. Let's head outside so this doesn't look all broken. Next time on Pokemon Soul Silver, we are going to be heading on to the Lake of Rage that man told us about, because there is a Gyarados rampage or something going on there. Don't know what that's about. See you guys then.